Hello, welcome to Ranking 76, where we rank the heroes and villains of the West. I'm Matt.
And I'm Eric.
And today we are doing our recap. We haven't done one of those in a while, but essentially we have gotten through our next 10, hint, it's actually 11, hero/villains. So today Eric and I will be re-reviewing them, not only for you, but also for us, because, some time has passed. So we will see. I believe we are starting with Mr. Meriwether Lewis, right?
Yep, we are. Turns out, Lewis dropped. It was like the middle of July 2022. It's now September 2023. So our break, it's been over a year that we're reviewing some of these episodes. So I had to go back and listen to some of the recaps because I needed to remember what we said.
As Eric pointed out earlier, he is now 2 years older.
Yeah, how it works out. So when we drop Lewis, we drop Lewis the same as my birthday month. So I was 33 when we recorded Lewis. My birthday hit basically twice since then. So I'm now 35.
Yeah, not 2 years. I shouldn't say 2 years, but you are
like a year.
It's too fast. Some change. It's years some change, yeah. So, shall we get started?
I mean, yes, we do have some housekeeping things though, but actually, Matt, what's that above your head? Like over, like what?
No, it's this one.
Oh, that's so weird. How did that? Oh, so somebody has made an awful mistake.
No. Best choice they ever made.
We have been invited to speak at Intelligence Speech Conference in November. It is a digital conference of basically all of the history nerds. It's a pretty big deal. Like Mike Duncan has been on this before. Basically, all of the Rexy pods have been on it before. And we're honored to be asked. So this is us doing a plug. The Intelligence Speaks is on contingencies this year and is on Saturday, November 4th at 10 a.m. You can either attend it live or you can catch up afterwards. And we have a promo code.
I like it.
We have use the promo code RANK, RANK, to get 10% off of your tickets. It should be a fun time. I think right now we're going to be on 2 panels.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Currently 2.
Currently 2. Yes. We'll just take over the thing and
come see it. Next year will be for the whole thing. We'll be the keynote speakers. I'll wear the graduation, with the weird goofy hat with the.
All right. So anyway, yeah, there are links in the description and the comments below if you want to see that. If you're listening to this on the podcast form, we are trying something a little bit different with these episodes. We're putting it on YouTube, and then I'm actually going to display something so you can actually see the scores. We can see the people we're talking about, which we really haven't done just because, well, we have a YouTube channel. We haven't utilized it the best outside of ClickDraw. So if you want to go watch this on YouTube, you can see our faces and all of that good stuff. Matt looks very handsome today. That's right. So, with that said, while we were on break too, before we get into the recaps, we had a few people reach out to us just because when we were on break, and they were really heartwarming emails to get, and I want to read parts of 2 of them. For Andrew and for Sydney, I haven't responded to you because I didn't know how to I feel weird getting compliments, and it was very compliment. It was very nice. It really made our days when we got them, but I couldn't think of a way to respond in a way that I didn't feel odd about it. So I guess I just wanted to shout that out here, and then they asked some questions in it. So we figured we'll answer some of those too while we're in here, but we'll start off with Andrew. So Andrew thanked us for listening to we were basically his tour guide, the poor soul, when he was going through the West. So when he was going up to the Lewis and Clark Center, he went to Great Falls, Montana, and he was listening to the Lewis episodes. He listened to to Wild Bill's episode when he went through Deadwood. So he's listened to us a lot in the last couple of days. So he also sent a link. He does a journal for a local history society in Wisconsin that we'll also post in here too. But in some of his questions, he basically asked if we were planning on doing an episode in Blackhawk. Yes, we are. He is a big deal. He's kind of reason we haven't done him yet is he has an autobiography, which is great. Not a lot of Native Americans do, but I'm also having trouble tracking down sourcing for him. That basically doesn't give me 5 pages, or at least one that I trust yet. So yes, Blackhawk is coming. We just don't know when. And also I'm trying to space these out so that we don't cover all the big names.
All of them right away.
Yeah. So, but yeah. And then he also asked, have we considered doing brief episodes on lesser known figures, kind of like Tudoriferous cameo episodes? If you haven't listened to Tudoriferous, they do like quick half-hour, 15-minute episodes just on people who don't necessarily have enough to do a full episode on, but they just kind of do a quick hits. We've kind of talked about it.
We talked about it. We even talked about, me doing some of them, doing some shorter episodes. So hopefully we can get that going. It's just all a matter of when, right? Because we did just get off of a little hiatus, trying to get back into the swing of things. So hopefully those some way, shape, or form come out. We also have other things planned as well.
Right. I would say there's also a lot of people like maybe if we don't tell someone's entire story in these mini episodes, it's like we tell the really cool stories. Like there's a billion just Wild West stories that are just kind of fun that it's hard to fit them into context necessarily, but yeah, should be fun. So anyway, thank you, Andy. I really appreciate the email. That was really nice to get. Another listener named Sydney is from Idaho. She is apparently she works as a postman.
Yeah, mail carrier, right?
Mail carrier, yeah. Sydney left us a fairly long email. And again, it was really nice to hear. But one of the first things, and I think we've confused people, because we said Matt has a history degree, and he does. So Sydney would like some clarifications for Matt on what he basically knows.
I know I left as well. Well, so basically I did all European history in school. I think I only took 2 American history classes, one being Native American history, and I think I took a Western Civ was the class, right? Or no, Western history, something. Dr. Bullock, shout out. Was it?
Yeah.
I felt like a 300. But I'm going to be honest with you, though. I have a very bad memory when it comes to history and stuff. So I got a lot of other goofy knowledge up there. So I forget things easily. So that is why sometimes I have a hard time remembering who's who and what's what. As you'll probably see in this recap when I go, who is that again?
You'll recognize them eventually. It'll come.
But Eric, on the other hand, took almost all American history classes, right?
Yeah, I got pigeonholed. I don't really have like a specialty. I just I wanted to learn it all. When I came into college, I really liked the American Revolution. But I've really my fallback is always the presidents. So I don't know. I'm trying to read a book on every president right now, and I'm about halfway through. Obviously, I mean, if you can see my bookshelf, this middle section is all American West. This is basically all of the presidents that I have, including a whole section on TR right here. He's the best, and then FDR right down here. Then this is just my miscellaneous. I have some baseball books and that type of stuff. So if anyone's trying to read what the books are on my shelf, that's American West in the center, which obviously has taken up a fair amount of my life.
Oddly enough, though, I did do my final paper on an American history during the Civil War. You might have read it. I don't know. I think I might have shared it with you when we were in school, being like, "Is this any good?"
I'm pretty sure I had
It was on.
you had me proofread it, but
Yeah,
I don't.
A lot of red on that, if I remember correctly.
I was very nice.
It wasn't civil. Bad. It was the biggest prison in the South. The gangs and stuff that overran it, but I've been trying to find it for
Andersonville. You're talking about the prison camp?
Yeah. I'd have to go back and look at I have to go back and look at the books I had. Yeah. I mean, that whole time was pretty depressing.
It's not great.
But to answer your that hopefully that answers sort of the question.
You'll be shocked to know I did my paper on Lewis and Clark.
And I will say, so those are some of the best episodes we've done so far. I gotta say, what was that like a 6-parter or something?
It was 3 parts for Lewis, and then you had Clark and Sacagawea. So it was 5 total episodes, and I loved every second of it. I would do it again.
Yeah, it was fun.
Speaking of, Sydney also asked, she was kind of surprised we didn't talk about the pronunciation of Sacagawea's name, largely because I'm not 100% confident on my pronunciations. Now, there's Sacagawea, there's Sacagawea, there's different enunciations of her name. In Idaho, there are, and Sydney even points this out in her email, that there are 5 tribes, and I think her name just kind of gets jumbled up. Sydney might know more about this than me, but you see that a lot with Native American names is they're just a syllable off. You see it with Tecumseh also. So there's Tecumseh, and then there's Tecumseh, there's Tecumseh. Where's the other one? I forget. Anyway, there's multiple pronunciations of them. Same thing with Tenskwatawa when he was Wallalithaka. Oh my goodness, kind of butchered those. That's as good. So I wasn't as comfortable covering that, but that's why I didn't go into that. But we could do honestly a whole episode on just Native American pronunciations and names and like why certain syllables mean different things. It'd be very interesting. It'd just be very tedious to put together. But who's to say we won't do it? She would also like to see us hear a score on Kit Carson. We were this close to doing Kit Carson in December, and then time just kind of got away from me. So when we do Kit Carson, we're going to have to pair him up with John C. Fremont. And those are going to be long episodes. I do have... here I do have most of my, so I got Blood and Thunder, Hampton Sides, that covers basically Kit Carson, and then I do have one by Robert David Remley, and then a really, really cheesy book that was written in the 1800s. That's basically just propaganda for him. It's all garbage, but it's fun to read. So those will be the books, and then I have a really big book on John C. Fremont. I just need to find my second one that I need to find, but those 2 will be linked. And she does point out that Kit is kind of divisive. He, I think in general, he was a very humble guy, but sometimes he was kind of took the attitude of a soldier following orders, or he was just, the casual racist of his time. But honestly, he is, remember his name, he is kind of a sleeper, I think, for us. Whenever we score him, I think he will do very, very well.
But as Eric always says, we'll get into it.
We will. And then, of course, Matt, I'm really mad at your Billy the Kid score. He admittedly was one of the highest scores. And I just think we need to shame Matt more for his Billy the Kid score in general.
Will I die mad? Probably. I'm going to go ahead and say I 110% stand by that score. And that is a hill I will die on.
But you don't, because you changed it.
A little bit, for like a little bit. Maybe when we do a final review, maybe we'll do a final review when we're all said and done, and I'll lower it back.
Nope, it'll be locked in by then. He would be like, I could see you, like him actually winning this tournament, and then you being,
no, he would not win the tournament. I'm 100% sure on that. He will not win it. Wait, who has him? Oh, I do. So he might win.
Okay. So anyway, we're here to talk about some of our peeps here. So, oh goodness, that's That needs to go away. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Probably need to cut that out, Matt.
How? It's video.
No, we'll figure it out. Anyway, first up, way back in July 2022, over a year ago, we covered Meriwether Lewis. Look at this handsome fellow. I did have to go back and listen to him. I forgot, like, I don't get emotional a lot during history and talking about it, but boy, Lewis gets me almost every time. And you hear it at the end of the episode. His suicide was just heartbreaking because he felt like he didn't accomplish much.
Oh yeah, didn't. I remember we didn't rank the bonus. We didn't give him a death bonus, or it was nothing.
We just skipped it. We were going to give points anyway. Yeah. There's no reason to rehash that. So, but as far as the story, are you satisfied? You can't do better than 20. And as pure joy, when you said, like, your build up, when you were building it up, I was getting nervous because you really built up, like, sometimes a story needs 3. And I was just waiting for you to be like, and a 3. And I almost like,
no, wait, that was my favorite.
You've been known.
One time. But no, it was, it was, I remember it being really, really good. I don't even know. Did we record all 3 parts in one day?
No, because I remember the first I was in Albany helping like keeping busy over the summer for my job. And I remember the first episode's audio was very echoey to me and we almost recorded it. And then we recorded all of those in Albany. Pretty sure we even talk about it, but I think we did Sacagawea and also Clark, but maybe we did Clark when I got back.
But Lewis became our highest rated good guy, right?
Yes. We'll actually see all of them at the end, but yes.
Oh, okay. Good old
Alexa
Siri
doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Be sure you are right and go ahead. He wasn't crazy, but yeah, overall, he did very well except for his draw score. I think that's fair. He wasn't known to be a shooter. I think we even said that wasn't his story. So
right.
Overall,
of course, legacy overall, obviously highest it could go.
Yep. Love it. And he got drafted by the right guy. I think we can all.
Wait, why did we give him 1 point for counting coup?
Because he killed that native after they basically tried stealing his dog. I think that's the right story. Yeah, but he did kill a native on the way back. It was on that way back when they're trying to sprint home and like Lewis had 0 patience.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Okay. That brings us to the second member of the Corps of Discovery.
I thought you were going to say that brings us to part 2. And I went, did we score all 3 parts?
No, we didn't. We should have, though. It would have been deserved. Sacagawea or Sacagawea, depending on how you would like to pronounce it. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get more feedback on this. I thought people would be very disappointed in our scores because we were very up on Lewis, and then we came to Sacagawea, and we just kind of cooled.
But the thing is, she came like a ways into their trip, wasn't it?
Yeah, she came in North Dakota.
I'm trying to think. There you are with giving you a dang half point for draw.
Mm-hmm. But when I score 0s on there, it means something.
You didn't score any 0s.
No, when I do score a 0 for draw, it'll be deserved.
Right. I honestly don't remember much, which is funny because you gave her a lower "Are you satisfied?" score. You'd think I remember some stuff. I remember she had a son that ended up going to live with Clark.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. John Baptiste. She died at 25. I think you got interested in like maybe she died at 25. Maybe she continued to live on. There was that mystery.
What was the name of her husband again?
Toussaint Charbonneau.
Yeah, Charbonneau. That's right. Oh, and she almost died because of Clark, wasn't it? He was bleeding her dry. Yeah.
You kept bleeding. Like, I don't understand why she's not getting better. Bleed her some more. She's still
To
not
be
getting better.
fair, he wasn't the doctor of
He
the
wasn't. No.
expedition.
And that was kind of their solution to most things. You're not feeling good. Let's give you a good bleeding. But yeah, if it wasn't for them coming up to a mineral spring and then Lewis coming back to save her life, she would have died.
Right, because once he got back, didn't she almost instantly start getting better?
Yes, because he stopped. Also she was able to eat something. She got some of that. A lot, like from that mineral spring, she was able to recover some of the minerals of all of the blood she lost. So yeah, she was able to recover.
Clark's probably like, I saved her.
Probably. Yeah, Legacy, I think I full stand behind this score. So I have nothing to hide here. I think Legacy was her round. I think
she had her own dang coin too. So I mean,
she did. She did.
a while.
Even though we don't really know what she looks like. We don't even really have good descriptions of what she looks like, which is really disappointing, but it is what it is. Also, Charbonneau's an idiot. Do you remember how bad Charbonneau was?
God.
He almost lost the journals.
Didn't he? Yeah, because he didn't know how to swim or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, essentially, he panicked. A wind took over the canoe or the pirogue, and he basically almost lost the journals. If it wasn't for Sacagawea, there wouldn't be like a huge section of the journals. All while carrying a baby on her back. Yeah. Idiot. Not her, him. Okay.
Speaking of idiots, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, I like Clark, but also look at that dude. We do not talk nearly enough about his hair.
He looks straight like he should have been city boy all the way. I cannot see him in the West. Untamed territory. I need to see those pictures.
Oddly, I mean, they didn't exist yet for like another 20 pictures didn't exist for another 30 years, but yeah, anyway.
We gave him I think our legacy score was because without Lewis, you wouldn't have, or
without Lewis, they're a pair.
They were synonymous, yeah.
Yes. It was weird separating out to 2 episodes, even though Clark did so much more being the governor of Louisiana Territory. And like he did a lot. He brokered a lot of deals with tribes, and this is after not only did he get them the journals published after Lewis committed suicide, but he also if it was happening with native tribes in the West, he had a huge say in a lot of it for 30 years or so. Like he was very important that I don't think people quite understand.
He also got a pretty high score overall, though.
He did. I would say his "Be Sure You Are Right." We were harsh on him.
I wasn't. You were.
Well, I couldn't get over his, like with York asking for his freedom. Like York, his slave,
that's right.
Goes on the trip and then basically expects to be freed when he comes back. He's been treated as an equal on the expedition, and then Clark basically says, "No, you're still my slave. What do you mean?" And it's just like.
But the whole time on the trip, he was basically treated equal.
Yes.
Even pay, wasn't it?
I don't think he got paid.
So much so, didn't he end up dying? He ended up getting married and then sold to get away from his wife, right?
I have to remember that back. I believe that's the case. I think he ended up dying about 1913, like in the 1818s, I think, or 18 teens, I think. But I got to look that up again.
Right.
And that would not make for good, like.
In here. Find the book, scroll through.
I can find it. It's in here, but I don't think that makes for great. I don't know, YouTube, video, podcasting, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, fair score.
Wait, how many, he killed 10 people?
Because he fought in Fallen Timbers. He was a soldier, if you remember. That's how him and Lewis met.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because remember, he was supposed to be a major, right?
Oh, he's supposed to be a full captain. That's on the expedition. But then Lewis didn't need to treat him. Lewis offered him like a full partnership, and Jefferson and the rest of the U.S. government was like, no, we're not paying you
Right.
that.
Right.
So, but yes, he eventually did get the rank. Next. Oh, I'll be shocked if you remember anything from this guy.
Good old Johnny Ringo. Of course I remember him. He was a terrible human being.
You just saw the negative score and just assume that.
No, he's a murderer.
Correct? Do you remember? I've never been more frustrated with a source in my life, and if it wasn't the only like somewhat modern source that was actually like had sighting, I would have ditched them altogether. But I can tell you, there's not many books on Johnny Ringo or John Ringo, and this dude, David Johnson, had a vendetta against Wyatt Earp.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't he one of the ones that Wyatt Earp chased after?
That was part of that rivalry, but John Ringo, you'll notice the death bonus, we scratched it out because he also committed suicide. He went in the desert and killed himself. Yeah, but he was the guy that got angry because, well, supposedly, somebody was drinking beer when they should be drinking whiskey, so he shot him in the neck.
Not ringing a bell. Not ringing a bell.
Probably just a misfire, but yeah, that's the big story on him. He had a rivalry with Doc Holliday. They didn't get along. Apparently, there is a version where they did do the "I'm your Huckleberry" story.
Oh, is this the guy that said it to him?
It's the other way. So Doc said, you're my Huckleberry to John Ringo.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. We both gave him a low legacy score, hence why we don't remember him that well.
Right. Also, his entire episode was so that I could set up Tombstone. I needed to talk a lot about Tombstone, and he was perfect to do it because I needed to like separate the cowboy and the law faction. And right. I piled up a lot of Doc Holliday's research so that I could just talk about Doc Holliday because he was a beast. I'm surprised that was only one episode. It was a long episode, but it was only one. But yeah.
Good old Johnny boy. And then we did Doc Holliday. How come every time I hear Doc Holliday, I always just picture Val Kilmer? Because so when that picture just came up, I went, huh?
I mean, I could put him up there. That could be the Valentine.
He died of tuberculosis, right?
True. Lasted a while, too. It was like 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. He had it for a long time. You like this story a lot more than me. Oh, because it wasn't as glamorous and exciting. What was the name of his? He had like a longtime love that he ended up ditching, wasn't it?
Kate Elder.
Kate Elder, yeah. That's right.
Who will likely get. There's so many people you could do on Tombstone. This is my big debate. That's probably why I'm like punting Wyatt Earp down the road, because either Wyatt is going to have, 19 parts, or I could cover his brothers. I could cover Sheriff Bean. We're going to have to cover Curly Bill Brocious.
What we could do is just do the Wyatt Earp saga.
Essentially, it's probably what it's going to have to be, because it's going to be the whole Tombstone vendetta, and Wyatt himself is decisive, because even outside of Tombstone, he was in Dodge City. He was in Deadwood for a hot minute, but not long. Dodge City or Albany? Abilene,
wasn't it?
I think it was Abilene. I know that was, anyway, there was one where he was where Hickok, I think, was
they met up, right? Or whatever.
Something like that.
They met.
Yes, our favorite homicidal dentist, who apparently was a terrible shot.
And a terrible dentist, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was a terrible dentist, but he was more gambler. Let's be free. Cards are more fun than teeth anyway, for being honest. He has a very icy stare, though. I do think of all of the stares we had, he has one of the strongest. But
it's like this.
Very wide. I do. There it is.
I don't got the cool mustache, though.
No, we can't. Cochise.
So,
I liked him.
I remember him because we went from Cochise right to Geronimo.
Yes, we stayed in Arizona for a while.
But Cochise, kind of a bad dude. And now
The
I can't
Apaches are
remember.
a brutal tribe.
I can't remember. Was Cochise the one where his family got kidnapped in the tent?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and he cut the tent. And
Yep, cut the tent, grabbed him. He killed a lot of people, didn't he, on his way out? Didn't they kill like...
No, they fired at him. He didn't actually leave with his family. That was ended up being his issue, is they held his family hostage and he was trying to get them back. And then it didn't end well necessarily. But most of the Apache episodes, it was because they were so close to the Mexican border. Like,
wasn't it all over the damn pass?
Yeah. Yes, it was over Apache Pass was like the main, which is what the Americans wanted. But this is when like three powers meet. You had Mexico, you had the United States, which was coming in, and then you had the Apache, which went around both territories, who didn't necessarily care about the borders, except for it helped them out tremendously. Because anytime they got too much heat in the United States, whoop, let's jump over to Mexico. And then when there's too much heat in Mexico, whoop, we'll go back to the United States.
They did that a while. They did that for years.
They did.
I can't remember. Was it his dad that got killed, or was that Geronimo, or it was like their like father
so
figure?
You're thinking of Mangus, Colorado.
Yeah.
Who probably has enough, probably deserves his own episodes, but I don't know what we would cover that we didn't cover in theirs. So for anyone disappointed, we're not probably going to cover Mangus. It's because we've already talked about him an awful lot.
And went over most of, even if we didn't talk straight directly about him, I mean, we kind of covered everything.
I mean, this was the longest amount of history we've covered in one stretch, because Cochise, I think, was born in like, oh goodness, he was like early 1800s, not late 1700s. I don't think they really know yet. I think he was about 60 when he died. He lasted until I think 60. I can't remember the exact date he died, but then we went up through Geronimo, who died in the 1900s. We essentially covered 100 years of history in these, I guess, 4 episodes. It's really interesting, but yeah, the Apaches were brutal and did not like Mexico.
Killed lots of people.
Yes, they did.
Innocent people.
Well, that said, I did like Cochise. I do have a bit of a soft spot for him. I just don't think he's a good guy.
You did give him a -8. You liked his story quite a bit.
I did, yes, but there's only so much killing you can do that I can be on board with before I give you a negative score. But not a bad score, though. -44. Actually, what really hosed him is To Hell with the Consequences, because I thought he was more clever than crazy.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yep.
Or else the score would have essentially, I mean, we're looking at a 20-point swing because you got to bring it,
You'd have been high up there.
Yeah. So -56, but I stand by it. I think this is
that's right. That's right. I forgot. We said he killed 50 people.
And we had to ballpark it.
Right. Geronimo!
Yeah, there he is.
Man, his score is insane.
Much like Custer, it's the story of 2 episodes. I think we left the first part of his story of him being fairly sympathetic, and then we left after the second episode. Like, screw this guy. I hope he deserved everything he get. I think he ends up dying in a rainstorm, and I think I said something to the tune of, I hope every raindrop felt like a punch in the face.
Was that the one where he like fell off his horse?
Yeah. And he just laid in the rain for a while.
Like hours.
Yeah.
That's right. Forgot about that. To hell with the consequences, though. We said he was pretty crazy.
Well, do you remember what really turned us on him?
Didn't he kill a bunch of like women and children?
I mean, yes, but that's kind of on his Mexican vendetta. Not that that's any better, but he broke off of the reservation and then decided he wanted to free the Apaches on the reservation. They told him, no, actually.
Oh, and then like a third of them died, right?
Yeah, so then he basically kidnapped the Apache that were on the reservation, and then on the walk back, they got ambushed by the Mexican army.
That's right. I
And then
forgot
at
all
the
about
end,
that. And like a third of them got wiped out, right?
yes. And at the end, he wasn't even remorseful. If anything, it was like, oh, I just like doubled the size of the free Apache. They don't want to be here, but I doubled them. Isn't that something?
Yeah, he was a crazy, crazy guy. We both said he'd probably kill us too.
Yes. Yes, he would. High up there.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Your legacy score, you gave him a 9. Like, I think people know the name, just not who he is.
Yeah, you said that on the episode too.
Did I?
That was my point. Like, I think if you know Native Americans, it's Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, and Geronimo. I think they're all in that tier.
$60. We said he killed more people.
We did, yes, because I think our debate.
I think we said because he freed them.
Yeah, our debate was we felt pretty good about like the 20, even though we knew that was high, and then we gave him, I think, half of the Apaches that were murdered by the Mexican army. So I think we ended up adding like 20 on 40, and that's how we came up with our negative 60 or 6 points, which makes him like our second lowest score because if you remember, John Wesley Hardin was somehow worse with a legit score of like 37, I think, for counting coup. The man killed a lot of people in a very short amount of time. Yeah, Geronimo, I do not like you. But he's on your team, so that's fine.
I mean, with that score. Marcus and Narciso Whitman! Let's go!
Narciso.
Remember they got stuck in the past and had to eat each other? I'm just kidding. I'm messing. That's the Donner Party. These were the, what's the word I'm looking for? The religious people that went and tried to convert. What?
Missionaries.
Thank you. Listen, Narcissa died saving a house full of children, though.
Essentially, yeah. If you remember Marcus, if you remember the main source that I used, he was enraged that the Pacific Northwest was won by Marcus and Narcissa Whitman, or so he thought. And he wanted to change that narrative, and he spent like 200 pages on why that wasn't the case.
Right. What was the name of the other couple? The guy that first asked Narcissa. Spalding. That's right, because we made a bunch of sports jokes. The thing with Marcus is, was it him or no? It was Spalding that kept lying, saying that they were converting way more than actually were.
That was Spalding. The Whitmans took the other. The Whitmans had an incredibly high bar to where they converted like 2 natives, and I bet those were the most converted natives ever because they had to earn it.
Well, I can't remember. Was it Marcus that got an axe to the chest, or was that Narcissa? When he opened the door, didn't he get an axe?
That was Marcus. Marcus is the one that opened the door.
Wait, it was an axe to the face, wasn't it?
Top of the head, but yeah.
Yeah.
But he also
burned the house down?
No, I think they let that stand. Maybe they did. But if you remember,
I know it was in Washington area.
Yeah, that's Pacific Northwest. If you remember, Marcus also had plenty of warning signs because they kept saying that the Nez Perce and I forget what the tribe was. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. Well, whatever the tribe that they were serving basically said, like, don't heal them. They've been known to kill their medicine men if they don't cure. Right. And then a wave of, I believe, smallpox.
Or was it malaria?
Malaria. I think it was malaria. And he did it what a good doctor would do, and he tried serving them, and they didn't work. Between that and the forced missionary work, they got real sick of their presence and killed them.
And Spalding got away because he was fired. Him and Marcus went all the way back to Boston, though, right?
Just Marcus.
Oh, okay.
But if you remember, he showed up to the American board. He just crossed the country. He doesn't change his clothes. He gets up in front of the American board and they're like, "What are you doing here? Go change your clothes. You look terrible. Come back tomorrow." Which had to be a bit deflating. But that was also the same year. Why they supposedly get credit for claiming the American Northwest is when Marcus comes back. That's when the Oregon Trail really starts to pick up momentum. Because remember, Marcus or Narcissa and their daughter were, and I forget the other woman's name, that traveled, Spalding's wife. They were the first females, American females, to cross and go to the Pacific Northwest. And then when Marcus returned to the United States and then came back, that was when it was really starting to ramp up. So he gets kind of perfect timing, unnecessary credit. And it
correct me if I'm wrong. Their daughter drowned, right? In the lake.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was never the same after that.
Yeah. Narcissa really took a dive after their daughter drowned, which obviously there's no way to really recover from that. But she also didn't. I mean, if you remember, she grew up wanting to do missionary work as a teenager, and it sounded great and romantic. And then by the time it got to it, she realized what it was and that these natives didn't necessarily want to all convert. And she was just over it. So she ended up hating them. I think within a year, they built their house. They had a room specifically for natives not to go in because that's where she hung out her time.
Dang.
Yeah, it was really a sad life for Narcissa, but what do you do?
Right.
Do you know who he reminds me of? So looking at Marcus here, you ever seen The Conjuring?
Patrick Wilson or what?
Yeah, tell me he doesn't look like Patrick Wilson.
A little bit. If you were drawing.
If you ever watched The Alamo, Patrick Wilson is William Barrett Travis. And with those sideburns, Matt's looking it up right now. With those sideburns, I think that's where I draw it from.
Is his name Patrick? I think it's Patrick Wilson, right? Yeah.
I think so.
It is. I gotta hold on. Yeah, a little bit more. He has some crazy sideburns in that movie.
I'd cast him as Marcus Whitman.
That would be a terrible movie.
Or would it? It might be good for a bit. Who knows? Anyway, 17.5. They're on your team, so good luck with them. Oh,
Chief Joseph.
I enjoy.
I'd be remiss if I said I would know absolutely remember zilch.
He was the verbal beatdown guy. He could
counter. Oh, that's right. He could. He won so many debates, right?
Mm-hmm. He won every debate by kind of bringing in these big, complex ideas into very simple phrases.
He was around the same time as Custer, right?
Just after. So Little Bighorn happened a couple years before the Nez Perce broke out.
And wasn't he was he the one that rode in Roosevelt's inauguration?
Yes, it's so really the last three natives to it's Red Cloud, Joseph, and Geronimo. Are the three. Yes, they rode in TR's parade.
That's right.
I think I blew your mind because in 1903 or something, Joseph sat and watched an American football game.
Oh, that's right. Wild. So wild.
Seems like it shouldn't be that modern, but somehow it is.
Because he also converted into Christianity and stuff, didn't he?
Late in life, yes.
That's right.
But he just wanted to go home. That was really his whole story. He wanted to stay in his homeland.
That's right. They just they refused to let him go back to Washington.
Yeah,
that's all he wanted. Instead, they moved him to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma for a time, and then they were able to go back into the Pacific Northwest, but they weren't able to go back into the
Didn't he?
Walla
He was the
Valley.
one that led his tribe into Canada for the longest.
He wanted to. So you're sitting a Sitting Bull. They were chased by Oliver Otis Howard into like the Great Plains. They traveled like 1,000 miles and were like 30 miles away from the Canadian
border, right?
So,
to ask,
Sitting Bull.
Yeah, to help, right?
Yep. That's when they just got caught. And then if you remember, Looking Glass got killed. His brother got killed. Like that final battle, really.
Yep.
And then Joseph. But Joseph, to the American people and the newspapers, they knew of Joseph because of all of like the verbal debates and like his disagreements with negotiators. He went into the Nez Perce War, which is just the Nez Perce, which is a bold statement to say that you were firing at innocent women and children, but that's fine. Joseph went into it as the leader and ended it as the leader, but in between, all the papers were like
everyone else became a leader at one point.
When he was never the war leader, he had never been the war leader. He was always like the figurehead talking. But yeah, he never wanted the fight. He never would have left if it was his choice. Overall, though, good dude. He aspires to be what I want. Like, I aspire to be what he is. We're someone who can just say like a one sentence line and win a debate.
Oh,
yeah, plenty of mic drops. Not very. Oh yeah, draw. Do you see? I did not even give him points in draw.
Oh yeah.
Do you see why? Yeah,
because he never fought.
No, nor would he ever. Yeah, but he's on your team, so I hate him.
I'll Swearingen. Good old Ian McShane, y'all.
I wish. Ian McShane made him very charming.
Even though in real life he was not a good person.
No, not at all. Human trafficking, bribing women to not bribing, coercing women to come to Deadwood, and then basically saying, "Well, your family's going to think you're a prostitute, so you may as well just stay." And then, yeah.
Be sure we both gave him max points, but be sure you're right. Then go ahead.
Negative, but yeah, for the human trafficking, because that's essentially not even essentially that's what it was.
I can't remember. He was killed in like Kansas or something, wasn't it?
He was killed in Colorado, but they don't know how. I think you decided it was because his twin brother murdered him.
That's right. I created like this crazy.
Which should worry you because you yourself are a twin. So shouldn't that be some type of worry for you?
Newsflash, I am him.
No, I've seen him. I've seen him. No, I will admit, you are the evil twin. I will give you that.
What? No, it's the other way. He is the evil twin.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's on your team, though, I believe, you had to have him, right?
Yeah, I think I had the ability because I think I could have just kept dropping him because I think you were 2 ahead. I could have just kept picking people, like letting them drop until I found like a big name, but I didn't feel like being that mean, I guess. So yeah, overall just not a good dude. I don't like him. I like Deadwood though. I like Deadwood a lot. At least it gave us an excuse to go over that, but yeah, he's not great.
Moving on to Timothy Oliphant.
Sick stash. I still can't get over this mustache. It's so good.
Did he have a mustache in the show?
Yes, just not that mustache.
Seth Bullock, I remember being like, this is going to be a pretty cool dude, and then just not a cool dude.
He's more politician, like, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, they make him out to be so cool, and then he's just not.
No. Yeah, he's just fine. He was the sheriff in Deadwood for a brief amount of time at the most dangerous time.
He did tell him to use brick, wasn't it? Instead of wood. So then when the whole
Oh
town burned down, wasn't
no, he. I think you're thinking he wanted to bring in and like get the volunteer firefighters
Oh,
going.
right. Oh, that's right. He was an idea man, but he never followed through.
Yeah, he would never finish. He'd be like, "Well, I've done the big thing," and then he'd like. To be fair, he would fund. He would help fund it. He'd get the money, but he was not the details person. He was the big idea
He
person.
was the idea man. He wasn't the do man.
Yes. He is the reason that Belfouche is the county seat of I forget the county in South Dakota. That's
That
my bad.
Belfouche is in?
Yes, I
Oh,
can't
I
remember.
believe we looked it up. Wasn't it like Yankton or something?
No, Yankton's on East River, but whatever it is, and he basically double crossed the town to get there.
Isn't it just Belfouche County?
Is it
Butte.
Butte County, South Dakota? But yeah, it had the county seat was in another place, and then he basically jumped on the committee to make sure it stayed the county seat, and then he said, "No, how about Belfouche? Because I'm developing the Belfouche River," and then there it went. It's been a long time trying to get a railroad to go through, but a businessman and a politician is what he was.
Yeah, it looks. I'm looking at a picture of current Belfouche. That town looks like there's nothing there. Sorry if any of you are from Belfouche. What do you got?
It's a town of 1,000, so but the bar was.
And you can tell, you can see the whole town in one picture. It's wild.
That's half South Dakota. I love my home state, I do, but we're not many people there.
Where are you from again? Winter?
Castlewood.
Castlewood. That's right.
Yep, the loveliest little town you've never heard of. Yeah, not much really else to cover with Bullock.
Low score though, low score.
Yeah, we just weren't impressed.
And wait. Oh shoot, never mind. That's spoiler alert. Never mind.
If you remember too, like he did have the pretty cool story. Like he was friends with TR, which is what I think people really, if they know of a story, a Seth Bullock story, it's him meeting TR.
He brought TR to Deadwood once, didn't he?
TR lived in North Dakota, and they were supposedly chasing the same bandit, and that didn't happen. They met years later, essentially after that. But what did actually happen was when TR was campaigning, the Bullock was like standing behind TR, so like just the crowd could see him, and he had his gun in his holster to be like,
"Oh, that's right! Like, don't you say anything."
Which is pretty cool. Like that's a pretty awesome moment. But other than that, I mean, he's one of the very few we've only covered 3 lawmen.
Him, Bill.
Yep.
And Doc Holliday doesn't count, right?
Nope. He was deputized briefly, and he shouldn't have been, but that's fine. Starts with a B.
Buffalo Bill?
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves, duh. I should have known that. Good old Bass.
We briefly mentioned it in an episode, but like, do you remember when we talked about Hell on the Border and I was very disappointed on it? And then I put a post on our Instagram saying like, I wish there was more on Bass Reeves. And then an actress from Hell on the Border left a comment, hey, you should check out Hell on the Border. And then it just, oh no.
But I'm going to say it's because of us, we willed a Bass Reeves show into existence made by Taylor Sheridan, a.k.a. the guy that does Yellowstone. A new show is coming out called, I believe it's called Lawman, Bass Reeves.
Something like that, yeah. I think it's already out, technically.
No, it's not out yet.
Isn't it?
I think it's coming out in like September, October.
It's September, buddy. September 4 as recording.
It just says in late 2023.
Oh, still.
I don't know. That'd be hilarious. But the dude that's playing Bass Reeves is awesome. So I'm excited for it.
I'll believe it. And then just the long scope of our scores.
Let's see here. So who's the worst? Who's the worst of the worst so far? John Wesley Harden?
It's John Wesley Harden. 100%.
Barely. Jesse James by 1 point.
Oh yeah, I forgot Jesse was that bad. That's right.
And then the goodest good guy.
Oh, it was Sitting Bull. It's Meriwether.
Oh, it's Billy the Kid. Oh no, it's
Lewis.
Meriwether. Whoa. We gave Billy the Kid a positive score? I don't remember what's going on.
Yeah, because I don't know. I thought he was more hero than villain. I'll still stand behind that.
I guess.
Now, he did kill a lot of people. I'm pretty sure Lucy has...
Look at Sitting Bull. I forgot Sitting Bull has 0.9 above him.
Yep, just barely. But, number one, Meriwether. Of course.
Yeah. Bass Reeves is pretty high up, too. Dang, you have Bass, huh?
I do have Bass.
Man, we're almost filled up our teams. We each have 5 slots left, and then they start going into the old... We're going to have to make a third column for free agents.
Well, that will happen, but yeah, right now our only free agent is John Ringo, and we kind of went over why nobody wanted him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We hated him so much.
But what is kind of cool is you can kind of picture who I'm going to match up for. Because I'm looking at, I would match up like Sacagawea with Tenskwatawa. I would probably put the Donner Party versus maybe the Whitmans. No, I'm going to destroy them. I don't know who I'd put the Donner Party up against. I feel like they could take someone home. Maybe Tom.
What was the name of the girl you said we were reviewing, but then it ended up being the Donner Party?
Sarah Graves.
Graves. That's right. Yeah, the Graves.
Oh. Do you want to propose any trades? Is maybe Joseph begging to leave?
Huh. What's that, Joseph? Oh, he's happy where he's at. I
don't think he is.
Hold on. Hello? Oh, it's Joseph. You're happy? Oh, okay. Glad to make you happy, sir.
Right. What part about your team would make him happy? Would it be Tom Horn? Would Tom Horn or
he's chatting and chilling with Clark?
How about George Custer? Would he be thrilled to be with George Custer?
How about I will trade you Billy the Kid for Tecumseh?
No.
Dude, look at the score. It's 70.1 to 70.
Yes, but sentimental. He's 100 in my heart.
Okay, how about this? I have William Clark.
Yes.
You have Lewis.
I'm keeping Lewis.
I will give you Clark for a 1 Bass Reeves.
I'm just not that interested in Clark. I feel like I have the person I want for the core Discovery. Now,
you have 2 of the 3. Why not have 3 of the 3? It's like Monopoly. You'll have the whole set. You can start building railroads and hotels. And
I can, but no. How about, so what if we did? So I'm looking at, and I'm seeing I have a perfectly lovely, where did they go? Perfectly lovely Annie Oakley just sitting out there. And I see you have Olive. Well, I do like Olive.
I like Olive Oatman. She's just a low score.
I like Annie too. Would you do Annie Oakley for Chief Joseph? And Annie Oakley and William Barrett Travis for Chief Joseph?
Wait, say that one more time. I was so stunned by that awful trade you proposed. Go ahead and tell me this new one. Annie Oakley for who?
And
for Chief Joseph. You want to give me Annie Oakley for Chief Joseph?
What about the Donner Party for Joseph?
I'm getting a text message from the insane asylum. They want you to come back.
Well, you propose. Who do you want to give Joseph up?
No, I don't. Especially since you said, "Oh, he's the guy I wish I could be with the words."
It's true.
Fine, Joseph for Tecumseh.
We're not that crazy yet.
How about this? Joseph for Bass Reeves and Sacagawea.
Ooh. Could I get a Calamity Jane with that?
I just do you have hiccup? I mean, she'd be reunited. She'd be reunited with her love.
That's not true. It's not true at all.
Hey, I watched the musical. Okay, the musical Calamity Jane. She gets with Wild Bill.
Yep. Chief Joseph and Calamity Jane for Bass Reeves and Sacagawea. We're doing it. Hey, all right. That makes me 1 sec. I gotta write that down because I will forget. 1 sec. Okay, so Joseph. Nope. This makes good. And everyone loves a good sense of formatting, though, right? On these.
Oh no! It's formatted incorrectly.
We're just gonna do this. It's fine. Joseph. Copy. Okay, we're gonna go here. And who was it? Calamity?
Yep.
I'm not really thrilled with Calamity. I'm not gonna lie.
The funny part is a couple of these cats are probably going to free agents.
Well, I think that was kind of our. I think I gave you Annie, right? Bass Reeves and Annie.
Sure, I'll take Annie.
No, No, it was Bass Reeves and Sacagawea.
Don't even remember the dang trade. I should have just went along with it. You would have totally been like, yo.
I would say, like, it is a better chance that Sacagawea stays on your team than Calamity Jane stays on mine.
No.
Because what did
so
Calamity
many people
do?
still to talk about.
We do, but I don't think. I think Sacagawea can play a spoiler for you because she was on the core Discovery, where Calamity Jane, dressed like a man, did everything. We did Pearl Heart earlier, everyone, so you're gonna have to listen to that bit after. But like she did, Calamity Jane wasn't really an outlaw. She was just an outlier. She was a woman in man's clothing.
She had a lot of different accounts. What's real, what's not.
Yes. Which she did. I mean, let's be honest. She didn't do that much. Now, I still like Calamity. She charmed me. We actually read her autobiography as a bonus episode, but I don't think she's going to make a team at the end of it. And I think Sacagawea is more likely to make a team. I have a name with Calamity Jane. So
right.
You are feeling good with this trade.
Yeah, because I wanted Bass.
I do want that.
What was that movie?
If you say Hell on the Border, I swear.
No, it was on Netflix. It had Idris Elba in it. It's gonna bug me. What's it called?
Why are you asking me? You're the one looking this up.
And it had like a whole bunch of historical figures.
Forrest Gump?
No, The Harder They Fall. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's a really good movie. But I'm pretty sure Bass Reeves is in that. Yeah. Delroy Lindo played. Oh yeah, this really cool dude. You might remember him from Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, I don't.
Have you ever even seen that movie?
Nope.
Nicolas Cage. So, but anyways.
Yeah, I'm boring. Like I like true stories. I like period pieces and true stories. I'm weird like that. Except for like comics. I watch like the Arrowverse now. That's my thing. I'm watching in between. And the Twins, who are trying to collapse in the AL Central. But we'll see if that actually happens. But one more thing before we log off, because we just saw our teams. We just did our second trade. Isn't that exciting? we're going to try something different on who we're going to do next. So we just recorded Pearl Heart. That will be showing up after this. Whenever Matt gets it edited, then we'll schedule it. That'll be coming along soon. But from here on out, I have now spaced out our people into like blocks of 10. So I'm going to have Matt. We have 6 people left between now and 40. I'm going to have Matt pick a number between 1 and 6, and I will tell everyone who we're doing.
Bum, bum, bum!
Keep in mind, I will say some of these, like I just said, one of Kit Carson and John C. Fremont are tied together. So if John C. Fremont is picked, I'm not saying he's even on this, but like for an example, if Fremont is picked, I have to cover Kit Carson first in order for Fremont to make sense. So within that, I will let you know. But Matt, however you want to pick it, 1 to 6.
4.
4. We will be doing. Ooh, I'll make this really dramatic. We will be doing. Actually, I'm actually kind of excited to do this one now. Somebody suggested we do this, and I didn't know when, but we're going to be going with Black Elk.
Ooh, Black Elk. Okay, never heard of him.
That's all right. I've had this book for over a year, so actually, well picked, Matt. I'm excited for that. All right.
Is it 10 or is that the next person we're doing?
No, this is the next person we're doing.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
it.
Okay.
So we'll do that after the end of Blackhawks episode. We'll or Black Elks episode. We will.
I'll pick another number.
You'll pick another. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I appreciate like Eric said at the beginning, we appreciate the emails. If you would like to email us, it is ranking76pod@gmail.com. Or we also have a Facebook group, which this is going up on that, isn't it?
Yes.
So there you go. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit. All pretty much Ranking 76, the American West.
We're pretty
really
easy
appreciate the feedback.
Find the lime green pixelated font. We're pretty easy to pick out, I think. But yeah, and that. Thank you guys. It's good to be back. This feels nice to do this again. So, with that,
let's go.
I'm Matt.
I'm Matt.